Stjernholm Reviews. Making hi-fi great again and saving the wildlife habitats of the world. Join our Patreon and take part while enjoying all our exclusive listening session, early releases, and much, much more. Stjernholm Reviews. Your sound, your music, your planet.
Welcome back to the second part of the Genelec 8380A Dream Speaker review here on Stjernholm Reviews, where the Silverback listening team and I bring you honest insight about the speakers we dream about. As attention spans, even among fully grown audiophile men, continue their slow collapse into TikTok-level brain function,
I like it a lot.
this review is split into two parts for your convenience. Part 1 was all about the philosophy, the history, the engineering, design, and setting up expectations for something really special. Here in Part 2, we go subjective in a big way. We take you with us into the sessions armed with a SPL meter and stereo reference microphones. Here we take them to the edge of their capacity and find out what the speakers are all about through the independent ears and impressions of the team. This time we even spice things up a little further, introducing a blindfolded first impression, leaving no visual cues.
Very precise, very revealing in the details. It was also in the imaging very 3D-like, and it really came into the room.
No size bias, no brand expectation. For those of you who claim you want the truth, this is something you don't want to miss. This is where the Genelec 8380 leaves the safety of the spec sheet and enters the real world. But first, know that you too can walk among the awesome.
Silverback! We are the Silverback! Hear that thunder roll! In the tweeters, heart in the stroll. High great again, no strings to pull. Join the sound, feel the truth, let the music. The sound believers, wave receivers, nature's friends and truth achievers. We build, we play, we give it back. We are the mighty Silverback!
The setup was simple. For most sessions, the speakers was smashed up in the corners, a position we found were really great for these, for maximum coupling to the room and on axis to the listening position, and corrected using the built-in GLM room correction system. And just how much it matters is clearly demonstrated here by the doc. The studio origin shows right away in the frequency response that are almost ruler flat after running GLM. The Silverback team mostly agreed on one big thing, that these are exceptionally coherent and revealing monitors. In a day where we are comparing two very different high-end speaker systems, this sequence matters a lot, and this is as pure as it's gonna get, as the Genelecs are Lars's first speakers on the day, so there's no anchoring bias, no mental comparison yet. This is absolute as unbiased as it gets.
That's incredible. Totally 3D, like really deep and coming to me. Again, like with Roger, it really creates a space.
I was afraid that because they're so far apart, that the center image wouldn't be as strong as you might expect. But I got a good phantom image here. The stereo spread was very wide, which was great. But you'd expect that being pushed all the way out to the corners, which is further than we normally have them. But I didn't feel like I was missing anything in the center image. It was still well represented there in the middle. Good, strong, wide center stereo stage, and a depth to the instruments as well.
Maybe a little narrow in the perspective. It's not all that wide, but a nice space.
The music lover Carsten had another perspective, with the Genelecs being his second pair on the day.
You don't quite get the sense of the room
The performer is in as you would with other speakers, but it still sounds quite good. The sense of space has also somewhat disappeared. And Lou Reed's voice at this moment is way back by the rear wall, where previously it was positioned more or less where the camera is, almost entirely inside my head, and he seemed to be standing right in front of me, singing. And he has therefore been pulled back, and the piano, it also doesn't have that full resonance out into the room as it truly can have.
The soundstage is precise rather than enormous. The sweet spot is very large, and you quickly develop confidence in what you're hearing. No theatrics are applied at all here. The big waveguide and coaxial MDC driver there creates a huge stable sweet spot. You can stand up, sit down, walk around the room, and the tonal balance barely moves. Sound is clean and distortion-free, and the dynamics are very composed even when pushing them hard. Wow.
It's very, very tight, all the way up and down the frequency range, and presents things very well. A very even response down there, so every note was translated. So they're extremely precise speakers.
Yeah.
But I don't feel they've left me cold yet. I've got goosebumps with Joni Mitchell. It's not overly analytical or clinical in that sense. I feel entertained, but information is revealed to me. So yeah, I think they're revealing their monitor legacy. Their background is always for give me the information, nothing more, nothing less.
Once we added a gentle tilt using the GLM sound profiler, they became a little more friendly to listen to, a little more hi-fi like.
We know this is important because if it's too high, it sounds like it's more detailed compared to the other speaker, when it's in fact only a question of frequency response. So one should be very careful about what is detail and what is just elevated frequency response. It's two different things.
Yeah.
So that's why we should try to get it as similar as we had it with the other speakers.
Of course. Let's try something with a little more punch. The bass stayed tight, dry and precise, never boomy, and the overall presentation felt so clean, detailed, and very confident. What do you think about the bass weight?
I don't think it does much below 40.
No.
It's not going to the subterranean, but it's definitely punching like a 15-inch Pro speaker should do.
It's one small step for man.
Say Stern Home Reviews. Stern Home Reviews.
So, does the engineering serve the music? The 8380A is a seriously impressive studio tool that many audiophiles will respect and enjoy, especially on high-quality recordings. It tells you the truth.
You know what? You guys are freaks.
With rock-solid imaging and a wide, coherent sweet spot that works so well in real rooms, including those that may require some more near-field style listening. But for the pure audiophile, soul-chasing that last sprinkle of emotional involvement and unrestricted dynamic thrill, the 8380A stays a little on the clinical side of the line. It is honest and precise and highly capable, yet it does not always wrap that honesty in the warmest, most seductive hug. Yet, it does not scream analytical.
It's been a really positive experience. As I mentioned, they truly remind me a lot of my favorite speaker, that Dynaudio, that Confidence model, that one. And sound-wise, they also have that particular quality where they have this thing where they can make old rock music play properly, but these are too clean in their sound, or what should I say, because they're not as good with other types of music.
Very appealing to me because they have all the definition, all the revealing, all the information that I need, but I felt entertained as well. They weren't just clinical and revealing. They presented a very musical picture. Huge dynamics, big headroom, never stumbled over anything. Shaping the head, the treble is probably a little bit necessary to put it down if you're listening at loud levels, and bringing up the bass end is a personal preference as well. But very nice, revealing, competent pair of speakers that are very fast and very well balanced.
The thing I have thought most about was how revealing they were in the detail.
So if I say it's an active speaker and you should just put a price on the sound, it's not, one of those speakers with a very expensive finish or anything like that.
No.
It is made cost effectively.
17 to 20,000 euros maybe.
Damn, these are 16,000 euros for a pair.
Okay.
Yeah, you got lucky there.
What did I win then?
Yeah, but you win the right to take off the blindfold.
So it is a two-way.
It's a three-way.
It is a three-way.
It's a coaxial driver there in the right there in the wave.
Okay,
guide.
but you can say that Genelec that explains the extreme power.
Yeah.
But it may also explain the more monitoring-like sound.
Yeah.
They have this big, beautiful sound, even dispersion that just makes you want to play for a longer time without ear fatiguing. They can play ear-splitting loud. They have all these DSP qualities so you can control the speaker to the room in your liking. It's active and it's well engineered. It's proven that it works, and you also hear that quality in them. Definitely. I didn't find anything that I thought was off balance or anything. If you need to play super loud, you might need to add a subwoofer or two.
I would say that if your taste run toward unvarnished precision and you value knowing exactly what is on the recording, the 8380A is a very strong contender. If you want the speakers to disappear completely and just bathe in music without thinking too much about what's wrong with it, you might want to keep looking for something that has an extra touch of romance sprinkled to the sound.
For the price, it's a bargain. I mean, if you want the optimal sound quality for less money, they would be very high on my list.
If I had a lot of money and a big enough studio, then that would make sense for them. It would be a good choice. Interesting to see if any of the others in the listening test found them too cold or clinical or analytical. I didn't. I thought they were entertaining and revealing.
The Genelec 8380A is designed to let you see what is wrong and what works, not romanticize things. That is clear now. For you guys on the perfect measurements bandwagon, this can very well be just the thing you dreamt of. And at 16,000 euros a pair, excluding the 500 euro GLM kit and maybe a stand if you need it, it seems like a very, very good value proposition if you can accept the form factor. Now, hang on for the pros, the cons, and that team review score. So what do you think? Have you ever tried a Pro monitor at home? Would you add subs to the 8380? Let your voice be heard in the comments, and remember, you will know if it works for you when you
Just listen.
Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.